Hey, welcome back to another great RC Works video. Today we are in our new studio. So we decided now that my cameraman's back, Jeremy, we can put together some more video content for you. And we have a pretty exciting announcement we're going to be making today. And you might see that I've got pumps around me here. We've got pumps on the other side of the building. Pretty exciting announcement. But first, let me just quickly show you guys the studio area. Obviously, it's still somewhat under construction in here, but we've got flooring in, we've got bathrooms in, we've got some amazing window tint outside. That way it's a one-way and we can have really good control of the lighting in here. We're gonna have a whiteboard set up back here because I know you guys like when I do the whiteboard videos. We're just gonna do a massive whiteboard. And we've got the TV in case we wanna watch some YouTube. And yeah, so this is where we're going to be doing a whole lot of filming here soon for you guys. So all right, to the announcement. The really big announcement is that Pentair, one of our main pump suppliers, very good quality pumps, they are moving, because of this whole Corona thing, are moving a significant portion of their manufacturing back to the United States from China. Fantastic news. So what pumps, you might be wondering? Well, let's take a look. We pulled them all out for you. So this one is a pretty big deal. This is the MSK HS pumps. I think these are 1 horsepower through 2 horsepower. So I think you've got a 2 horse, a 1.5, and a 1 horse. Very beefy sewage pump. So excited to see these coming back to the US. This is the MSK 60, I think this one is, but these are available in a, I think a 50, so a half horse, a 60, which is 6/10 of a horsepower, not quite a 3/4. And I think they have a 75, so a 3/4 horsepower, and a 100, I think is what this one's available in. So lots of different horsepower ranges. Once again, this one is a pretty beefy sewage pump. I think this one has a, yeah, so this one is just a serious mover, high volume. It's got a split vane impeller on the bottom there, so high volume pump. Over here, these are some of the top tier effluent pumps. So these are like your effluent only type pumps or sump pumps, great for sump pumps. The MES series, we've got an MES 100, and I think we have a 50 actually floating around here somewhere if I grabbed it. So these have been a bread and butter pump for RC Works Company for years. Especially the half horsepower, because they can put out some pretty amazing heads, decent flow rates. So if you have to lift that waste up to a street line above the house or something like that, these have been a great workhorse pump. So already I felt good about investing in these, but now that I know they're going to be made stateside, it makes me feel even better about the product. The MESPD, it's a mouthful, but these are another one of the tried and true pump designs, just beefy. I mean, you can just tell looking at the body of this thing. I mean, it's just a chunk. Really well put together pump. And this one, I think is an effluent pump. Yep, effluent pump. So you could use this for sump or effluent, and it's a good pump. Should be pretty efficient because it doesn't have a whole ton of clearance in there. What do we got here? This is an MSK 50. So this is kind of like your middle of the road pump, where it's not the super high end upper and lower ball bearings, but it's a really well put together pump. It's just got a sleeve on the top or for the bushing. So this one, I think your price point is somewhere in the mid 500 range, whereas your double bearing pumps are going to be about 700-ish. So really well built, just a heavy duty, super good pump, sewage pump. All right, so starting on this side of the room, we've got some more pumps lined up for you. So this is the ME series. This one is also available in a couple of different horsepower ranges. And this is kind of in line with the middle of the road in terms of quality for the effluent side of the market. So this is a really good pump, a really good effluent pump. And I would put this pretty much on the same level as that SKV that we were just looking at in terms of quality. Probably, if I was to guess, it's probably mid 500s. I haven't looked at the price in a little while. Moving on, this is little brother, Emmie 40. You can see this is definitely geared towards an economy pump, definitely a light duty effluent pump or a decent duty sump pump. So it's got the plastic volute, which is ideal for sump pumps in a lot of cases, because usually sump pumps are constantly dealing with a dry pit or a wet pit or a dry pit, and so you get a lot more corrosion and rust on your sump pumps than you do on a pump that's either permanently submerged in your septic tank. So I do like to see a little bit of plastic, but they do leave some of the cast iron on here to help with that dissipation of the motor. So another pump that I'm going to be happy to know is made in the US. And one thing that is interesting to note, if any of you decide to go in and research some of these pumps, I would say that probably more than half of the pumps in this room already say assembled in the USA. So they were already making the parts in China and then bringing them here so that they had good quality control. They were already assembled. And that's where a lot of these already have a really good reputation. But I just feel like for the industry, Go America, having all of that completed in the US is just pretty exciting. So this one, I guess I got to talk about it since I came up to it. This is the OSP, one of the few pumps, I think one of 3 effluent pumps, or I guess one of 3 pumps, because they do have 1 sewage pump, that is a continuous duty rated pump. So this one being continuous duty is a good pump. This would be a good sump pump or effluent pump, limited solids handling capability, but the big benefit is that it's continuous duty, meaning you can run it as long as you want. I will say, out of these pumps that have been used in continuous duty applications, they haven't always held up the best. I think that this pump is really truly better suited for long intermittent cycles, so where it may be on for a number of hours but then off, as opposed to like running a fountain that's like 24/7. Even though it's rated continuous duty, this pump will not last in a fountain. I guarantee you. So keep that in mind, but still a great pump for specific applications. And then this one, if some of you longtime followers are watching this, you probably know this pump right here is my favorite pump. We have our SRM4. These are literally the backbone. I mean, they are capable of a decent amount of lift, 2-inch solids handling, recessed impeller, and I would say my #1 favorite pump. It just has an excellent price point, extremely low warranty rate. I mean, what more could you want? And very unlikely to clog, et cetera, et cetera. So anyways, it's not a video for me to talk about the SRM4 pump, but definitely one of my favorite pumps in this room and one of the favorite pumps that I sell. So that's the big announcement. I just kind of thought it would be cool to pull all these pumps out and show you guys. And I definitely apologize for not putting out much videos lately. As some of you know, my cameraman, Jeremy, man behind the screen here, was working from home for a while, so it just made filming a little bit difficult when we were trying to do as much social distancing as we could. For those of you wondering, here in Idaho, or in our county, Kootenai, I think we're only at like 63 cases. Haven't had any cases for at least a week or so now, I think, if my information's right. So I think things are starting to look up, at least from North Idaho's perspective. I hope everybody else is staying safe out there, and stay tuned because we are firing up the video engine and hoping to start making some great content. The next video that we put out is going to be amazing. So what we're going to be doing is we ordered a product off of a website that is a really inexpensive product. It's a well pump that we bought for less than $150. And we are going to put that through its paces just to see what it's all about. So stay tuned. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We will catch you next time.